Today, we're diving into, well, a really fascinating strategic clash unfolding right now in the premium large SUV space. It's about the simultaneous arrival of two, frankly, massive 5.2-meter long plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, the Geely Galaxy M9 and the BYD Denza N9. And these launches, they just instantly highlight this deep split in how companies think they should approach this market.
Indeed. They really do represent two fundamentally different paths, don't they? Two answers to the question of what a premium PHEV should even be. You've got the M9, which seems laser-focused on, maximizing utility and sheer value for the, let's say, mainstream premium buyer. And then there's the N9, which is clearly aiming much higher, trying to set a completely new technological and luxury benchmark, almost regardless of the price tag.
Exactly. Which brings us neatly to our central question for today. When you look at the specs, and especially that huge difference in price, the Geely M9 kicks off around a remarkable $25,800 US, while the Denza N9 starts way up at $54,200 US. Where does market leadership actually lie? Is it with the high-value, high-range practicality of the M9, or is it the undeniably technologically superior premium push of the N9?
Now, I'll be arguing that the Geely M9 offers the most compelling package overall, the best cost-to-feature ratio, and utility for the broader market. And that makes it the true leader here.
Okay. And I'll be taking the position that the Denza N9, yes, despite that much higher price, is the vehicle that's actually defining the future capabilities for this entire segment. It sets the essential technological, the luxury benchmark. Essentially, it dictates what consumers are going to aspire to next.
Right. So the case for the Geely Galaxy M9, it really starts and maybe even ends with utility and sheer price accessibility. To offer a vehicle this big, 5.2 meters long, starting at just $25,800 US for the entry 2WD trim, that's genuinely disruptive in the industry.
But it's not just about the low cost, it's also about tackling that core issue for PHEV buyers head on. Range anxiety.
The M9, particularly in its higher trims, it uses this quite large 41.46 kilowatt-hour battery pack. And that gets it a comprehensive range claim of 1,505 kilometers. Now, that is an unmatched sort of real-world utility number. And beyond that, Geely has managed to bring features that were until recently reserved for flagship models way down the price ladder. We're talking about things like a big integrated 30-inch dual multimedia screen and access to their quite sophisticated G-Pilot H5 advanced driving assist system. The one with 27 sensors, Lidar running on an NVIDIA or an AI chip. The amount of utility and features you get, it's exceptional, really, almost irrespective of that low price.
I see the appeal. That utility-first strategy is certainly strong. But the Denza N9, it's playing an entirely different game.
Starting at $54,200 USD puts it in a tier where it's really the technological innovation itself, not just making features accessible, that's driving the cost. This is about pushing boundaries. The N9 integrates BYD's signature E3 technology platform and that incredibly complex DiSus-A intelligent air body control system. And just to clarify for listeners, DiSus-A isn't just air suspension. It's a whole integrated chassis control system. It bundles air suspension with advanced dynamic stability controls. And this is the tech that enables features like, say, high-speed tire blowout stability control, but also more advanced maneuvering things, like that 15-degree intelligent crab walking feature, which, isn't just a gimmick. It's designed to actually help with parking and navigating tight city spots.
Okay, those maneuvers certainly sound technically impressive, but honestly, how often does the average family really need to crab walk their giant 5.2-meter SUV?
Well, maybe not often, but they need the underlying engineering sophistication that makes it possible. And let's talk performance too, because that's key here. The N9 boasts absolutely supreme power, a total output of 680 kilowatts, that's 912 horsepower, delivered through 3 electric motors. That translates to a 0 to 100 kilometer per hour time of just, 3.9 seconds, which is frankly blistering for a vehicle this size. And this performance isn't just raw power, it's managed by their God's Eye Bly driving system, which is powered by the much more potent NVIDIA Orin X chip, boasting 254 TOPS of processing power. So the N9 isn't just offering a slightly nicer package, it's actively defining the technical and performance ceiling for this whole class of vehicle.
That power figure is remarkable, no doubt. But let's dig into that idea of technological necessity and, maybe more importantly, the return on investment for the buyer. Look, I believe the 9's extreme power, that 912 horsepower, is just massive overkill for the vast majority of people shopping for a functional family-sized PHEV SUV. Seriously, who's drag racing their kids to soccer practice, needing 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.9 seconds? It's this kind of extreme over-specification, I think, that justifies nearly doubling the price compared to the M9. The M9, on the other hand, uses its efficient 1.5 turbo engine combined with electric motors. The front motor alone gives you 180 kilowatts, and that provides more than enough power for everyday driving, for practical overtaking, highway merging, and crucially, it prioritizes getting that maximum 1,505 kilometer comprehensive range.
I come at it from a different way, though. I don't think the price difference is just about raw speed. It's dictated by these core engineering advancements that fundamentally improve stability, control, and importantly, safety. You called the DiSus-A system maybe unnecessary earlier, but that integration of air suspension, the three-motor independent drive, and their vehicle motion control VMC, that's what differentiates the N9, where it really matters for such a large vehicle. Think about stability control on slippery surfaces like, sudden ice patches or heavy rain, or the system's ability to help maintain control during a high-speed tire blowout. These aren't just performance bragging rights, they are serious safety and handling differentiators. And I believe aspirational buyers are absolutely willing to pay a premium for that kind of assurance, especially when they're carrying their families. The sheer engineering complexity needed to manage 912 horsepower safely and smoothly, it's immense, and that has to be reflected in the price.
Okay, I can acknowledge the superior engineering for handling those extreme edge cases. But if we're not paying, an extra $30,000 USD primarily for raw power, maybe it's for the smarts. Let's talk ADAS, the Advanced Driving Assistance Systems. The M9 features the G-Pilot H5 system. It has Lidar, 27 sensors, and runs on the NVIDIA Orin X chip. Now, critically, this system already achieves highly functional high-speed NOA, navigation on autopilot, and even urban NOA, without needing those expensive high-definition maps. This reliance on visual perception, sensor fusion, integrated into a vehicle starting under $26,000 USD. That means really functional autonomy is now accessible to the mass market, and that, I argue, is the real technological victory here.
Accessibility is important, I grant you that. But I think you're overlooking the critical difference in sheer capability. The N9 uses the demonstrably more powerful Orin X chip. And for those maybe unfamiliar, the Orin chips are NVIDIA's specialized processors for autonomous driving, right? The N9's Orin X delivers 254 TOPS. TOPS meaning trillions of operations per second. It's this raw processing muscle that allows the N9's God's Eye B system to perform much higher level decision making. And crucially, it's what enables true end-to-end mapless urban navigation assistance, among other complex functions. You simply can't reach that sort of pinnacle of autonomy and the reliability needed for fully navigating tricky city environments without that extra processing headroom. And that's why the N9's sensor suite, one Lidar, 5mm wave radars, 12 cameras, is configured for maximum performance and redundancy.
But is that extra 100 TOPS, or whatever the specific difference is, actually translating into fewer disengagements for the average commuter today? Or is it mostly future-proofing for some hypothetical level 4 or 5 autonomy down the road? The M9 system, it's integrated, it's effective, and it's available now to the user at a fraction of the cost.
We're talking about maximizing utility for people driving today. And we're talking about defining the segment's future. The N9 is setting the expectation for what premium safety and autonomy will mean tomorrow. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. If we move from function to, let's say, form and feel, let's talk interior experience.
because that's another area clearly segmented by price. Now, the M9's cabin is huge, 5.2 square meters inside, and it provides a really high standard of comfort, especially with its 2+2+2 seating layout.
The feature list is excellent. You get leg rests, 10-point massage, ventilation, heating, even a 9.1-liter fridge that cools down to -6 degrees Celsius on the higher trims. And those high-end trims still top out around, what, $35,000 USD? So I can see why you'd argue the M9 delivers, say, 90% of the luxury experience for significantly less money.
Precisely. The M9 really captures that aspirational buyer who demands utility but now also expects these amenities that were just recently exclusive to much more expensive luxury brands.
That's a compelling point, yes. But have you really considered what defines the N9's uncompromising luxury components, the features that fundamentally cannot be replicated down at that $35,000 USD level? For instance, the N9 offers that zero-gravity queen seat for the front passenger. It's designed specifically to optimize weight distribution for maximum comfort on long drives. It also integrates a 26-speaker Devoliate sound system, which, let's be honest, elevates the whole acoustic experience miles beyond the M9's offering. It turns the cabin into a truly isolated, premium sound environment. And crucially, the N9 includes a massive 50-inch AR-HUD display. That's an incredibly immersive visual interface compared to the M9's still functional but noticeably smaller 32-inch display. And here's a key detail. The N9 provides power adjustment and heating for the third-row seats. That level of attention, ensuring the absolute comfort of every single passenger, right to the very back, that is the hallmark of the true top-tier segment, the one ranging up towards $62,500 USD. It signifies absolute, no-compromises refinement.
So it seems we agree the market is definitely segmenting itself rapidly along this cost versus features line. But I still maintain that the Geely Galaxy M9 success is what defines the trajectory for the mass premium market.
Its core value proposition, that huge potential range up to 1,505 kilometers, the sophisticated cockpit tech with the Snapdragon 8029P chip, capable ADAS, all packaged between roughly $25,800 and $35,000 USD, that makes it the real market winner in terms of volume and impact. It pushes the utility envelope way out while keeping the financial barrier to entry relatively low. It's setting the standard for high-value, accessible utility.
And I'd counter that BYD Denza N9, starting at $54,200 USD, is the clear indicator of where the technology itself is heading, regardless of immediate mass appeal. Its integration of proprietary, high-end systems like DiSus-A and E3, combined with that truly supreme power figure of 680 kilowatts, and the ultra-luxury features like the zero-gravity seat and the huge 50-inch AR-HUD, well, that defines the cutting edge for large premium PHEV SUVs. The N9 simply proves that for true leadership and innovation, there's a necessary cost tied to features, whether it's advanced safety, ultimate refinement, or future-proof autonomous capability that are just fundamentally unattainable at the M9's price point.
Yeah, I suppose what these simultaneous launches really show us is just how complex and fast-moving innovation is in this large PHEV segment. I mean, both vehicles are leveraging really advanced stuff, sophisticated sensor arrays, powerful computing platforms from NVIDIA, all integrated with modern hybrid systems.
Absolutely. And the huge divergence in their pricing and feature focus, maximum utility versus ultimate technological showcase, it reveals a really complex market structure taking shape. We're seeing this push and pull, where volume players like Geely are forcing high-end features down into more accessible price brackets, while the technological pioneers like BYD with Denza are pulling expectations upward, setting new benchmarks. It's a fascinating split, and it leaves buyers with a really compelling choice, doesn't it? Do you go for the superior engineering and refinement that's available today at a premium, or do you choose the accessible, maximized utility designed for the masses?